Welcome back to another episode to What If Civilization Started Over. Now, in the last episode, we saw the collapse of both the Roman and the old empires. And in this episode, we're going to see how this virus is spreading over here in India, and how all these new countries are going to interact with them, and how these new countries are dealing with the virus. Now, I updated the culture map a little bit. As you can see, it's a little bit more detailed. We have separate, gold, these two gold teams. The two Indian teams, they are now two different shades of gold, or yellow, because they have developed different cultures since separation. These cultures are all three. These cultures are different, but similar. They're offshoots. So in this one, the blue one is like war. This is more of like the orange team. Yeah, orange team, religion. And this is more uniquely African. Same with the purple team, religion, red team, all of those religions. The only one that's actually kind of unified is the Korean and the green team cultures. So, yeah. So, now, onto the actual first event of the video, which is actually going to be some trade routes. First off, these trade routes will be completed. Yeah, I don't know if that was how it was, but yeah. This trade route will also be completed. This trade route will continue up north, continue down south. I also did shift some of the colors between episodes. Especially down here, there was some shifting. I think I made this country darker red. These two are going to continue to come next to each other. Is there any cities up here? Yeah, so these are going to connect up here. Go down, connect up through here. Low trade route, boop, boop. Link up with the purple team's capital, the blue team's capital. And move up this way. Now, this all happened during the war, obviously, so. And here, there wasn't as many, but most importantly, especially for later on, there is a new portion of the trade route during the war constructed between the orange team and the yellow Indian team. There's something about this right now. Now, as previously established, the yellow team isn't doing a great job of containing the virus. The pink and green teams here have contained it. They've stopped trade route, but there are still cases in it. Now, what the virus name? The White Death. Yeah, we're going to be named the White Death. Instead of the Black Death, it's white. Anyway. Eventually, this trade route's connected up here through these. And it's been a few years since the war as well. So these countries have had time to establish themselves and whatnot. A new trade route branch is stemmed off from here and connects up to here, to this team's capital, then down here. That's going to be all the trade routes. Now we're down with more stuff. Let's get to the part you actually care about, down here in India. Where, people have enough of them not dealing with the virus, and, well, look at this rebellion. Ain't that fun? And then, well, believe it or not, another rebellion's gonna spark down here. Yeah, the yellow team can't stop this, yeah. And then, are you gonna believe me? There's gonna be another rebellion up here. And, actually, yeah, I don't know if you're gonna believe me on this, there's gonna be a third rebellion up here. Yeah, lots of rebellions, and yeah. In the few years it's been since the war, the virus has just absolutely exploded. There are now it's now got into the major cities over here, and there are cases being reported as far as the Greek team over here. That's how far it's spread so far, from here to here. Very few cases over here because, well, it's been immediately stopped. So now we're gonna actually look at what's actually gonna be dealt with these. This is actually what's gonna happen with these. The L team's military kind of deserted. Actually, this gold one right here, this was a military group uprising. So yeah. So we're gonna see how they're gonna sit down and talk. The king of this will come down and talk to all the different rebellion groups and do something about it. And it's gonna look something, well, like this. And these are the new borders of India. As you can see, there is a multitude of changes. We have 3 new countries being made, and some of the lands just opted to join with surrounding countries. But the capitals for the new country is going to be here, here, and right here. Once the White Death entered Greece, it's opened the floodgates to all of Europe. Well, nearly at this point, millions or thousands, if not millions of people are dying. See the Danish team right here? They're feeling it the hardest right now. And well, their king dies. And he didn't have an heir. Shortly after, the queen dies. And, well, it splinters off into a bajillion different groups. And surrounding different countries starts coming in and taking groups. And, well, the end product is gonna be very messy, and it's gonna look something like this. And, well, it looks something very, very messy, doesn't it? Yeah. So a lot of these exclaves in these countries, it's because some of these villages and counts wanted to, well, go a particular way. Wanted to join up with a particular country, but not all of the surrounding area did. So they went ahead and did it anyway. And now we're left with this messy hellhole that is now Germany. Also, formation of a few different states as well. So that's fun. We'll see how this develops. We'll see how countries actually deal with this, and we also need to deal with capital cities and major cities. Obviously, that can exist. Actually, there's only 3 countries, so this will make this easy. Actually, most of these also only have 1 major city, so that makes this double easy. So, yeah. So, even with this disease going around, I really want to fill in this part of Europe. It looks kind of weird. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to be filling in Europe today, boys. So, it's going to be fun for me to do states. So, this Swiss team is going to expand something like that. That board doesn't look horrendous. The purple team is going to expand up into here. The purple team, remember them? They got like... I don't know why they even exist anymore, but they're gonna take this little squabble of land, and then well, surrounding countries are just gonna gobble it up before they can get any more. Just gonna do this for now. Yeah, even with the disease going on, countries still want land. I'm gonna make this border even worse over here. Yeah, they're gonna do that, so they'll actually connect up with this. But the Danish team, was this the original Danish team? I think this was the original Danish team. Will actually expand something like that. this blue team, remember, meant to be as a buffer state between Sweden and Poland. They expand a little bit. Speaking of Poland, they're gonna expand even more, something like that. Bulgarian team, they're not gonna do much expansion. They can't really do much more expanding. See this Yugoslav country, they take quite a lot of land like that. Same with this country, this other Yugoslav country. Now we're just left with this weird strip. I don't know what to do with this. We're gonna form new countries. That's what we're going to do. So we're gonna have an orange country right here, which these are just people trying to escape the virus and laying down entire countries. And I think we'll divide this into two. What color isn't around? Literally everything's around. I would say blue is the least, though. So we're going to do a blue. Do a dark blue. These three countries, they're just going to straight up not have capitals. They don't have enough population for capitals. So, like, they barely exist. That's a nice color. So, hey, Europe's now filled in. Some of these borders look a little funky for sure, but I've wanted to do that for a while now. Anyway, do we want to do some more collapsing? I think we do. So, you see this thin strip right here? How many major cities do they have? They have a few. Well, long story short, the economy's just failing in this country. They blocked all trade in and out of this country, which will actually, since it is kind of, it's kind of one major way to get over here, but it doesn't really help that much since, the virus could just spread up here. They shut down all trade, and well, their economy just collapsed after that, and you can't really have a country without an economy. The Lime team takes the capital, because they believe, hey, his ancestor was like my sister or dad or something, so we're gonna take it. The blue French country is gonna take this, and the rest of it's gonna go over to this country. That's quite nice, if you ask me. Yeah, ironically enough, we just added a whole bunch of new countries, but we're also getting rid of a country. Hey, I just realized Rome doesn't have a capital. That is unintentional, like these three. Their capital's gonna be right there. Speaking of Rome, actually, they're kind of salty about them losing that war, them kind of collapsing. So, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna invade a country. They're gonna invade this new country right here. Remember, it has been a few years since the end of the war, so they start to push in. They push in, and Rome's military is like completely gone after the war. So they actually start pushing back. They actually push in to Rome. Remember, their military was probably absolutely demolished because, yeah, you go from having the Mediterranean to this little bit. Yeah, that's not going to do well. And, yeah, this country has built a military, and Rome has not built a military, and they just captured the capital. Wow. Oh, hey, look, they're back. Anyway, they're gonna settle. They're gonna sit down and, bye-bye Rome. I don't actually like that. Rome will still exist. Mainly in their new territory. Actually, exclusively in their new territory. And they take that, so, I guess the capital thing didn't really matter in the long run, eh? Since I'm already erasing it from the map. Hey, I need to erase this capital from the map as well. What to do next day? Yeah, now Rome's been forced over here, and well, they're kind of like these. They kind of join up with these three guys. Jesus Christ, I am actually gonna make this country like more vibrant, maybe a tad bit darker, so you can actually distinguish it. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, Rome is literally gonna be like these three guys. They're gonna have no capital because their population is so small. And they don't have like a royal anything, so all three of these guys won't have capitals. At least for this episode. They'll have capitals by the time the next episode rolls around. Next, we're gonna actually head over here to Asia. Now, what are we doing in Asia? Korea's gonna actually expand a little bit. They've been kind of settling over here by themselves. Their population's been growing kind of slowly. Like, no one even knows about their existence, to be perfectly honest. Like, the news of when they left, the old empire existed, and now it's technically does exist, but it's now the old blue team. So, away from that depressing sob story. Expand. Their population's been growing very steadily. Any major cities do they have? Yeah, eventually their population increases to a decent amount, actually. Almost a few million, actually. There's actually a group of people, especially in the southern bits, that's like... A group of people from Korea decides, yeah, we don't really like how they're running things, so we're gonna actually go set up a new country. And where it's gonna be down here. Right here in China. Now, this country is actually, a lot of people like this country, and they start expanding quite rapidly as more migration and whatnot comes into it. It becomes a pretty sizable country. Korea expands a bit more down. They see what's going down. It's like, oh, damn. Okay, well, guess we'll change some of our policies, and they do, and that was kind of the end of that very short rivalry, and, well, now they're just two countries that border each other now. At the end of the day, China's gonna expand to look something like this, and Korea will be something like this. Now I know why this culture was gray, eh? Now, at this point, the virus is still going through the countries, and it is definitely hitting the new Middle Eastern countries very hard. But who's getting hit even harder? The old Middle Eastern countries, specifically the purple Persian country and the blue country right here. Tons of people over here hate how the government's dealing with the virus. The blue team less so, but the purple team especially, they're keeping the trade open, and, well, one thing leads to another, and their entire military just completely abandons all duties. And makes a new empire, makes a new country. And the purple team cannot stop this. So, yeah. The blue team decides, okay, we don't want our military uprising, so hey, new country, we got a whole bunch of land. Do you want to buy it? And they say, sure, since they're also probably a pretty rich country. So they buy this for probably like 100 gold or something. I don't know. They don't know how valuable it is over here. So, that was pretty peaceful. They got rid of their rebellious problem, and the purple team has no military anymore. So, that power ranking's probably not so accurate. Oh, hey, power rankings. I did update them after the end of last episode. Number 1 is the Vikings. Number 2 is Persia. Number 3 is this country. Number 6 was India. Number 5 is the brown team. Number 4 is the orange team. Number 8 is the northern Iberian team. 10 is Poland. And 9 is the French team. And I don't think that'll be shifting too much. Actually, one second. And yeah, number 7's to the red team. So the next thing that's going to be happening is the orange team is going to be expanding, expanding their territory out, especially up here in the north. Although not much due to the virus. The red team, remember, they were hearing rumors about some sort of civilization out here in the east. And, well, and they tried going over it, and it kind of failed. So, eventually, they, start exploring up around here. They get up to this lake. This is, like, probably 10 years after the war at this point. Start exploring. Lots of people die out here in the middle of the desert, but they want to know what's over here. At this point, India and China start exploring more inland. That looks terrible. They explore lots more. And they are going to actually try and explore inland to see maybe if there's a better way to get out east. There is, I guess, it's been a generation or two since they moved here, but there are myths still set. It's still very common how their ancestors got here. And people want to know, well, maybe is there an easier way? Because this is a lot of jungle right here, you know? Don't really want to go through it. So they start kind of branching out up north and out east, or west. Unironically, actually going in the same direction as this red team, the brown team. Guess what just expired, guys? The thing saying this thing has to exist, and these two unite, and they're gonna form a purple color, because I think purple will look a little bit better. Yeah, like that color. Yeah, I like that. And, well, the Vikings aren't gonna like this and say, hey, don't do that. We got you surrounded. And they're like, huh, yeah, I bet we could take you. Wanna go for round 2? And they say, alright now. Yeah. Hey, remember this guy? This guy was kind of an exploring group, and they're gonna actually expand a little bit out here. Expanding more up here, and actually exploring more into Russia. Speaking of Russia, the brown team, they hear about this and say, hey, what if further Russia? They don't know about Russia. They start expanding heavily out here. Now, the men team, seeing that this is rapidly closing, they try to escape, and they do. They make that weird little thing. At this point, wanting to expand outwards isn't as much necessary since you could just, I don't know, do something like that at some point. Hey, a little land exchange is gonna come up over here in the orange team and red team border. I know it's not gonna because of this esclave. The orange team is gonna or the red team is gonna sell that little bit of England for a pretty penny. Um, yeah. Now, and I would like to mention the red and orange teams. They are very close. They're both of the kings. It's actually a king and a queen. Coincidentally, the queen of the orange team died due to the White Death, and the king of the Dutch team died to the White Death as well. So, and well, they're suspiciously close, and we'll get to that at next episode, actually. The French team, they want some land. But where do they get it from? This wasn't enough. They need more. They could attack the yellow team, but, like, that would be kind of weird. But I guess this would be the time for weird borders. Or, I don't know, you could try and beat number 4 when you're number 9. And, guess what option they're gonna take? Yeah, they're gonna invade the yellow team. No, they're actually gonna invade the, orange team. Now, you may be asking, well, that's a stupid thing. But, they surprise invade and take all of Brittany within a week. They surprise invade and take Brittany within a week. And they start taking more of Normandy. And, what the hell's happening? Why aren't you, what's happening? Why aren't you evading? Ah, that's why. You're attacking the brown team. Alongside with the blue team? Wow. Yeah, they decided to jump the brown team. Wow. Oh, wow, the Vikings are also getting involved. Damn, this is just the blue team jumping. The brown team jumping. Oh, wow. This is still going, and oh god, they just captured the capital. How? Oh, okay, now they're sending troops back and they retake the capital, but this also means the brown team's able to capture all your land back. What ranking are you? You're number 5th, you're number 9th. They can't quite take this land, and they take a small amount of land back. Oh, wow, they're actually invading into England. Wow. And of course, the orange team is much more worried about losing this land. At this point, yeah. Which I'm thinking about doing now is, you see these? They're gonna stay about the same. I'm just gonna make it so the states they'll just follow states instead. So, it's gonna look something very similar to this. It looks something very similar, and it looks like this. Basically, if they had land in a state, they took that state. That was the only thing I went off of. Yes. Besides the Vikings, they didn't take all of the states. At this point, the Vikings, the strongest country, is starting to crumble under their own weight. There are too many different cultures to put under one flag. Now, of course, not all of these are in this culture, but there are very distinct differences in a lot of the cultures in this country, and it's reached a breaking point. Multiple different cultures are starting to act more as their own entity than under the flag of the Vikings. These areas include Ireland, Scotland, Finland, Estonia, even the bit of the Polish team. They're all starting to act more as their own countries than a part of the Vikings. Now the Vikings are sending their military there, of course, but it's not enough. Eventually, multiple different groups start to rebel in Ireland. And Ireland, Scotland, Estonia, Finland, and up here in the very chilly north. And that's going to do it for this episode of What If Civilization Started Over. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, check out the original series by Adis Perot. Link down in the description. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next episode, where we will see the finale of the era of instability and the beginning of the medieval age.